What's good, Flavor Freaks? It's Pitmaster Shane D here. You know me. I'm the guy with the OPP, or whatever. Or I'm down with the OPP. I don't know. Wanted to come at you with a couple quick tips. So keep this very short, very informative, and it's going to be part of what we're doing moving forward for not just you, but everyone who you want to share this with. So, these little fun diddly-doos are known as honing rods, steels, you name it. They got a few names. They're made out of several materials, but I want to talk about good ones versus not so good ones. So let's start with the not so good ones. This guy is one that came in a set. And I'll try to get it kind of close. You can kind of see the grit of it. You know, there's nothing wrong with it, but it just doesn't do the job. You can kind of hear it. The blade skates off of it, and it really doesn't re-hone it very well. I'm just not a fan of these in all steel unless they've got a really nice grit surface that really helps you in about 4 or 5 strokes re-hone your knife. Now, let's talk about how you do that. You've seen the chefs up here, they're like, wah, wah, like magic. That's fine, it works for them. You have the ultra careful people that are taking the handle up here and they're going down slowly and very easily and very controlled. Listen, develop your own path here. But the big thing is, the number one thing is, you want to grab this thing, start it at the hilt, at the base of the knife, and make sure it transitions the entire knife and the entire rod. Okay, so when you get down here, you should be at your tip. Okay, right? That's the big thing. You can end before then, but you want to transition that whole thing. Same thing on the other side, okay? And what you're trying to do is keep your angles the same each time, okay? So, not my favorite honing rod. Came with the set from Dalstrong. In fact, you guys are buying these 18-piece Goliath sets. There's going to be some garbage in them. Number one piece of garbage. It's typically the honing rod, sometimes shears, or some screwy little knife that you'll never use. So that's why I don't always recommend sets. What's a good honing rod? Well, this one doesn't look like much. It's very plain, nondescript, not logoed, but it's actually made by my friends over at Gunnar Wilhelm. And I'll tell you, for it not having many looks, much in the way it looks, this ceramic compound is the bee's knees. And you'll notice this one is round, just like the previous one. But listen to the difference. You ready? Hear that? Rawr. Right? It's really, you can tell it's going to move some metal, man. It's going to move some metal. And that's what you want. Whack, 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 whack. Boom. Back to work. That's a good one. I like the ceramic. I like the grip. I really like the way this one works. This is definitely one of my all-time favorite honing rods or steels. Even though it's not a steel, it's actually ceramic. This one, again, Gunnar Wilhelm's available on their site. I think it's around $40. I'm not for sure. The price kind of goes up and down a little bit. But check it out. It's a very good one. For those of us that don't like the round shape, here is one that is oblong. Okay? More flat on either side. Some consider this a plus. Some consider it a minus. Because you are losing some, potentially some edge over here that you can use. You'll notice this one has a cap for exactly this, right? If you're this kind of person, it has a very good hilt to keep you from smashing into yourself. But again, listen to the sound, right? You can just tell, you can feel it. It's moving metal, and I do it until I hear the sound change, and boom, I know I'm done, and I'm back to something that can absolutely, positively cut paper or nearly shave you. I hone my knives at the beginning of every cutting session and then at the end of every cutting session. It's habit, just for me, in case I'm in a hurry and I don't get a chance to hone them when I pull them out of the bag. I'll do it at the end. But it's typically, if I pull a knife out of the bag, one of these is coming with it, and I'm going to hit it a couple times and go about my day. So, that's honing rods in a nutshell. This one I didn't tell you is a Dalstrong product. That knife, if you like, it's also a Dalstrong product from the Shogun line. This guy is going to run you, I think it's a little more. I think it's in the $50, $60 range. Beautiful handle, very well built. Just more ornate than this one, and it has a little different surface area. But I'll tell you, they both work exactly the same. So go with what works for you there. Go with what works in your budget, but don't go here. Wah wah wah. They work, they just don't work well. So I just don't recommend those. So, if you buy a set and it's got one in it, leave it in the. And what I hate, the other thing about these sets, they'll drill that hole to only fit that honing rod. It's very specific. So a lot of times I'm taking a drill bit out of these blocks and trying to bore them out a little bit. So maybe this one will fit, or a better one. But a lot of times I've given up on just keeping that in the block. I'll leave this one just in its place, never to be touched, and I'll keep my rod in the drawer or somewhere like that. So those are my recommendations. I think that's all you really need to know. We can go through a bunch of technique and stuff, but I'll tell you that's a whole in-depth video that we'll get to another time. Until then, you know me, Pitmaster Shane D, Flavor Anonymous. Peace out, folks.